Hello students, welcome to Nilachal Polytechnic. My subject is Strength of Material. We are continuing with the video lecture class on combined and direct stress on column. In previous class, we have already studied the effect of axial and eccentric load on column. Here in this video, we'll go for calculation of maximum stress and minimum stress produced in the column due to the combined effect of eccentric load and axial load. While the load is applied axially, the stress produced at the cross section of the column remains constant. Throughout each point of the cross section, the loads are constant and the stress also causes the distribution of figure as all the lines are parallel with each other and all are straightened. These are the stresses are known as your direct stress. The direct stress can be also known as axial stress, and that is equal to P by A. It is denoted by symbol sigma O. From the stress distribution figure, all the lines are parallel and straight, and it is known as your stress distribution for a direct stress. Let us consider the load P is applied with a eccentricity of E, because of which there is a bending stress produced in the column. We'll explain that how the bending of the column takes place. We have seen that initially, while the load is applied axially, during that time there is a axial stress is produced, and this is the stress distribution formula. Figure now another, there is a load which is acting along the rightward. Both the loads are downward in nature. So we have seen that while we are applying, there are two stresses are there, and due to these two loads they are causing a couple. So while the couple is applied at the axis as well as the eccentricity load, during that time the reaction of the column, it is upward, and the load is applied eccentric is downward. Both the force are causing a bending moment, and that bending moment is produced by the two couple forces, and due to this couple there is a bend of the column takes place. So the cross section of the column takes place in such a way that there is a bending stress produced at the right side and also left side of the longitudinal axis. We have seen that, so the load is applied along the right side, so there will be a maximum resistance given by the material, and there should be a minimum resistance given by the left. As we have seen that the resistance should be given towards the downward load, so there will be a bending stress produced, and that will be causing the tensile stress in the cross section. Along the left part there will be a compressive stress, and that will be equalizing or normalizing the bending stress produced along the left side. So there will be a bending stress produced, that is, one is compressive, another is a tensile, as we have studied in a simple bending theory of beam. Similar concept will be added here. Now we are having direct stress distribution, all the lines are parallel, but due to the eccentric load there is a tensile stress produced along the right part, along the left part there is a compressive stress produced. So if you are going to take the combined effect of both the direct and bending stress, we can have here there will be a negative effect, there will be a positive effect. Now the maximum effect bending stress plus direct stress is known as your sigma O plus sigma B, that is known as your maximum stress. While along the left part there will be a direct stress minus sigma b, and that is known as your minimum normal stress. Now we'll consider that there are two types of stresses are produced. One is maximum stress, another is your minimum stress. Maximum stress is equal to combining effect of direct stress and your bending stress, and that is sigma O plus sigma B, while in case of minimum stress, direct stress minus bending stress. Now we'll go for calculation that how the bending stress is produced, how the direct stress is produced. So as we know that axial load is applied, that is a compressive one. Now the compressive stress is equal to P by A. So due to eccentric load, there are two effects are produced, due to bending and there is a direct stress. So due to the bending, there will be a bending stress produced in the column. We know that from bending equation, sigma B by Y is equal to M by I, where I by Y is known as your Z and sigma B is equal to M by Z. So we can have M by I into Y is equal to your M by Z is equal to sigma B, where Z is known as your I by Y, where I is known as your moment of inertia of the column along the longitudinal axis, and Y is the distance of the outer fiber from the longitudinal axis of the column. So how the maximum and minimum stress is calculated in case of combined effect of the both direct and bending stress in the column. When the column is subjected to eccentric load, the edge of column towards the eccentricity will be the maximum one, and the opposite edge will be subjected to minimum stress. So we are having two concepts, one will be maximum stress, another will be minimum. Maximum stress as sigma max, minimum stress as sigma min. In earlier study we have got the formula that maximum stress is nothing but combined effect of direct stress plus bending stress. Minimum stress, direct stress minus bending stress. We have sigma O direct stress, sigma B bending stress, sigma O plus sigma B, sigma O minus sigma B. So sigma O formula is P by A, sigma B formula is M by Z, and P by A minus M by Z. So M means bending moment produced by the eccentric load. So M is equal to P into E, while there is Z means that is D by 2. So that is B by 2, and I means equal to dBq by 12. So dB by 12 divided by B by 2, that is dB square by 6. So we can have take the formula for M by Z, and where will be P into E divided by Z. So we can have P by A taken common, and that will be 1 plus 6E divided by P. Similarly, minimum stress will be P by A whole bracket 1 minus 6E divided by P. So where sigma O is known as your direct stress, sigma B is known as your bending stress, M is P into E, and Z is equal to I by Y, and I is equal to moment of inertia of the column along the longitudinal axis, and Y is the distance of extreme edge from the CG of the column. Now comes to stress distribution figure of the column. We have seen that in the first figure we are having a column is there, load is applied along the axial direction. Now there will be a stress remains constant throughout the cross section from B to F. So we will having maximum stress at B and minimum stress at E. While the load is applied along the eccentrically with E value, now maximum stress will be along the right side, minimum stress along the A side. Now A will be sigma min and B will be sigma max. And if the axial load and B and eccentric load both are having distance V, now there will be a maximum stress along the right side, minimum stress along the sigma A, where sigma B is equal to sigma O. So sigma B is equal to sigma O. So sigma mean means sigma O minus sigma mean. So both are equal. So we can get only sigma mean, and that will be a triangular section. And while sigma max is equal to sigma B plus sigma E, so 2 times of sigma B, and that will be a sigma max will be more than that of the sigma B. If you are taking eccentric load is less than that of the applied direct load, during that time there will be a maximum stress will be more and minimum stress will be above the horizontal line, and that will be a minimum stress. So if eccentric load is less than applied load, during that time the value of normal stress and the bending stress will causing the minimum stress to be acting will be -1, and the maximum will be as it is will be more. So it is concluded that in case of direct stress there will be a rectangle, the value remains constant. In case of applied load and eccentric load is at a distance of V, eccentric load is more, during that time sigma mean and sigma max that will be a trapezoidal. While there is a load P and eccentric load P both are equal, then during that time there will be a triangular cross-section stress distribution. While the applied load is more than the eccentric load, during that time there will be a minimum stress will be your negative and maximum stress will be positive. So what is the limit of eccentricity? You have to study what is the limit of eccentricity. We know that due to the eccentricity of the load, the bending of the column takes place. So the maximum distance of load from the center of the column such that the load acts within this distance, there will be no tension in the column. The maximum distance is called limit of eccentricity. So limit of eccentricity is nothing but what is the width of column. According to the width of column, if there is a center axis, vertical axis, center axis, and we have to see that the maximum eccentricity will be the half of the width of the column, and that is known as your maximum eccentricity. Means it is the maximum horizontal distance from the longitudinal axis of the column, and that is where there is no tension takes place in the column. So when the load is acting within eccentricity limit, the maximum and minimum stress will be have the different cases. So when the load is acting within eccentricity limit, minimum stress will be compressive one. And if load is acting at the point of E limit, then sigma mean is 0. When load is acting beyond the E limit, then minimum stress will be a tensile one. So depending upon the eccentricity, we are having the minimum stress value will be compressive, 0 and tensile. In this way, here in this video, we are concluding that maximum stress is equal to bending stress plus direct stress. Minimum stress is equal to direct stress minus bending stress. And formula is P by A 1 plus 6E by B, that is equal to your maximum stress. 1 P by A 1 minus 6E by B, that is known as a minimum stress. Thank you.